Greetings, everyone. Welcome again to the Microsoft MVP show. We are here with a new episode about liquid templates. You know that last 2-3 sessions we are talking about that Power Pages. So we are continuing that, and today we have new topic on that series where we'll talk about liquid. So this is the high level agenda that we are going to talk about. We'll start with a basic introduction about liquid template language, and then we will talk about what are the different variables types that is available which we can use while using working with liquid, and we'll talk about commonly used operators and objects, and then we'll show how we can apply filter using liquid. Okay, and then we'll have a quick demo where we will showcase all these features that we are going to discuss today. So before jumping into our main topic, let's have a quick introduction about ourselves. Myself, Mahender, and I have my friend Venkata with me. We both are Microsoft MVP as well as C# Corner MVP, and we have more than 10 years of experience in Microsoft technologies. So yeah, so let's jump to the main topic. So, as I said that this is today we are going to talk about the new topic, liquid template language. So, in last session we discussed about introduction of page template and web template, where we saw that how we can use page template and web template to set up the layout of our web pages. Okay, so about the layout is the one thing that is there, but the other thing that we want to keep on our page is that the content. Okay, and the content can be static content or dynamic content, right? So if you want to put some dynamic content there, this liquid come into the picture. So liquid is basically open source template language which allow us to put the dynamic content into our web pages. Okay, so it can be related to the page structure or the web page structure itself, or it can be related to the object that is coming from the dataverse, right? So in here you can see on the right hand side, so this is basically a typical example of a web template, and here you can see that some of the code is there. Maybe if you are you work with Dynamics 365 and you use coding and you are familiar with the fetch XML, it will be similar to you. Here you can see that it will the fetch XML is used here, and you can see these 10, the curly bracket and percentage sign. So this is basically a way of using the liquid in the web template. So we use these particular tags here, and under that we use that objects and operator or whatever the things that is basically comes from the liquid that we put under these tags. Okay, so all these tags that you see is basically that's a liquid language is written here to bring the dynamic content on the pages using the page template. Okay, so as I said, like this is basically used for dynamic content, and it can be related to the page or it can be related to some of the tables. If you want to bring the data from the table, or you want to put some kind of condition that when this condition is true, perform this action or layout, put render these particular content on the page, or if this is true, then render a different type of content on the page. So that kind of thing we use for the liquid. And the liquid basically provide us, these are the common things like for the content rendering, for checking the logic or looping something. So for example, if you are getting some collection from the table, right, and you want to go through those collection, and one by one, maybe you want to check some condition that based on some set of records. So those type of thing can be done using the iteration, using the standard looping operators or constraints that we have here. Then we can also apply filter, different type of filters, as well as the data formatting we can do, and we can also integrate different web page metadata, like kind of a page object, right? So if you want to understand that, okay, what is the page title, what is the ID of the page, okay, some basic properties of the page, that can be used using the liquid. Okay. So first thing is the whenever you want to work with any language, you need to understand that what are the different type of operators that is there in that language, right? So just like we have here in that one basic set of operator which is similar to every programming language that we used to have, like if you want to do some kind of comparison, equality check, greater than, less than check, those set of operators are there, and we write them using these notation here. And then apart from these standard basic operators, we have these set of other operator that we use while working with the uh, you know uh, text checking or something. So for example, we have a contains. Okay, so this is similar to the string functions that we have in using the substring. If we have a long set of string or long set of line, and under that line or under that particular text, we want to validate something. So here you can see that we have this page dot title. It means that this page is an object here. Under that title, we want to check that if this page title contains the customer. Okay, so contains, we are using the operator here to check if the page title have customer, then we are writing that this page is for the customer. So you can see that we have here that liquid tag is there. Under that we have the if condition, and then we have and if condition. So here whenever we start some let's say if or other for loop or some other operators that we are going to use, or condition check that we will do, we need to start that and we need to end it. Okay, so it's because just like in HTML, right, when we start some tag and then we have to end that tag. Okay, so similar to here, we have the tags that we start, and when we perform our logic, after that we end that tag. Okay, then we have some operators like start with, if you want to check that if this particular line is starting with a particular character, right, or if it's end with particular characters. So those type of thing can be used here on the liquid. Okay, so we can have different use cases here. So when you are working on the page and you want to dynamically check that, okay, based on the page title, I want to display something on the header or maybe on the top of the page. Okay, it may be some different information, or depending on your requirement. So there can be different use cases where we can use these operator to perform that set of logic here. Okay, so now, next is the data type, right? So in just like we have in a traditional language, we have here as well, we have string variables. So we can declare variables and we can assign those variables there, and that variable then can be used for on the page or on the internal logic that you are using further. So you can utilize these variables there. We can define the number just like that. We can write something and we can assign that on. And this basically, when you are using number, you can assign two type of value. It can be integer or it can be a fraction value. So just by assigning itself, it identifies, just like a var variable, right? So variable that we used to have the var, when we assign that variable, it becomes that kind of variable. So similar to that, and we use assign, that is for assigning the value to the variable. So apart from that, this assignment as well, we need to write this assign keyword here to assign value to the variable. And then another, we have this array where we can have this collection. So for example, here this list entity list is just like, for example, a collection, that is an object, and under that we have a view that we want to use. And then here we can see that, like, these are the view dot name, these are the property that basically we want to fetch from this view array, right? Apart from this, we have the dictionary object. So this dictionary is also here, which basically we use we have some specific key that we use to get that element of the dictionary. So for example, here id is basically working as a key. Okay, so when we will pass this key, and it will get us the value under the dictionary based on this particular key, right? And then other data type is basically we have the date and time. So when you want to display date, or you want to perform some kind of modification or some kind of logic that you want to use date time, then we use this. So here this basically is a kind of a separation here, and here we tell that, okay, when we are fetching the date, what will be the format, okay, of the date. So it will be a kind of full date. So for the full date we use f here. Then page dot modified on is basically this page object, and under that we are getting this particular property modified on, and it will tell you that, okay, this page was modified on this particular date and time. Okay, so these are that data type that is available under liquid. And apart from that, we have the conditional operators. As I said, that if you want to check some logic, so if you want to put some condition, you need to use that if and else. Okay, so we apply if condition here. Under that if, we can start tag and then put our condition, and if that condition is this, and we can also use else here. So similar to that, we can use the start tag and else, and then tag, and then and if. Okay, so under this, whatever logic will be there, if this condition is true, it will execute or it will render to the page. And there is another conditional operator which is unless. So if basically works when this condition is true, then this will work, right? But unless is reverse of is. If this condition is not true, then it will work. So it's totally reverse of the if condition. Okay, so you can also use unless, and you can write a reverse condition here and perform some set of logic here. So just like again, if we have the starting tag, then we need to have the ending tag as well. Okay, so now we have different type of object. These are basically commonly used object I have mentioned here, but I think we have more than I think it's more than 20 object that is available. We can share that link where you can see that all the object that can be used while working with the liquid. But these are most commonly object that we use. The first one, as I said, the page, we use for getting the title or any metadata that is related to the page. We use this object. So for example, like this page title, and then we want to print that when this page was modified. Okay, the next one is the user. So user is also very commonly used on the power pages when we are this is a typical example, that right, if somebody logged in, and this object have that information app, if whoever is logged into the portal, so if they they are authenticated user, it will have the detail of that user. It will show you that user full name. So for example, here we can see that we are using this full name property here under this object. So it will fetch the current user full name, and then if it's not a authenticated user, then we are saying that it's a anonymous user, right? So this user object is also can be used for for example, let's say a typical example that we are saying that when someone will land on your power page home page, and we want to check that if this user is authenticated. Okay, if authenticated, we will keep them on the home page. If they are not authenticated, we will transfer to the maybe sign on page, right? So this can be used there. We can put this condition, and we can use that our scripting here, and based on that scripting we can navigate user to a different set of page if they are not authenticated. Okay, so those kind of things we can use using this user object. Then we have this entities. Okay, this entity is basically where we can fetch our data from the dataverse. Okay, so you can see here that this is basically we are assigning a variable here, an object variable, and then under that entity we are saying that dot account, and then this is a GUID. So this basically it's kind of a retrieve operation that will fetch this particular account record, and it will store under this, and then further if required we can use this object to get all the properties from this account. So those kind of thing we can use under this entity object. Okay, then we have this another object which is for loop. So this for loop has a specific type of properties that is available which we can use. So for example here you can see that this is a way of writing the for loop here. So starting tag, and then we are using for, and then we are using the object child, and in page dot children. So basically under the page we are checking that okay, what are the different sub pages are there, and we want to loop through all the sub pages that is part of this particular page we are right now. Okay, and under that we can see here this for loop object is used, and dot first property. So it will tell you that okay, this is the first child page, so it will contains the index of the first page. Okay, and if it's not a first page, then we are printing here, let's take an example of the index of the page. So if it's not a first page, then it's a second, third, whatever, so it will print here index of the page. Okay, so this is how we can use this particular for loop object. Okay, so here now we have the filters. Okay, under that filter, just like we can in a traditional way we use basically our conditional logic to put that, if that we want to check that condition, if those thing is that when we are writing some code, but apart from that we have a direct way of applying filter. So for example, date filter. So this date filter is basically when we have the date and we want to format it date on a different parts. So here you can see that we are saying that now the current date and time, and we are using the G here, and then we have the now, and we are saying that okay, we want to print that date on this particular format, or we want to put this current date and want to add one day on that. So these type of filter that is available on the date part. So there are many filters here. I'm just providing a common used here, and all these filters are basically applied by this, separated by this pipe sign. So we write the pipe sign, and then we apply those set of you know these filters. So just like date filter, we have this array filter. Under that array filter you can see that here basically this is one object, and under that we are saying that under this entity view we have a record, but we want to fetch those set of record where the address one city is equal to Redmond. So it will fetch, it's kind of a like a SQL select query. Okay, so we are applying simply a where filter, and then we are writing it that we just want to get only those record where address city equal to Redmond. Okay, so those type of filter we can use while writing liquid code into our template. And similar to here we can also use joining here. So if let's say if it's returning multiple record and we want to get all the cities and we want to combine them, and we want to use this as a separator there. Okay, and then we have string filters as well. So you can see here if there is something some specific text is there and we want to append something to that, so we can use this string filter. So for example, like we have like file name and append .js. So when we will print this, the output will be file name .js. Okay, so these type of filter we can use on the string part. So there can be these basically the use cases are when you are working on the page and you want to print a different type of content based on some specific conditions. That time we use these filters. Okay, so these we all these are basically, as I said, these are the common used filters. But when we are working on that, actually writing the code on the template, and we will, when we will discuss that how we can use the dataverse data we want to fetch it and apply different filter, we will see some more example of the filters there actually while working on this. Okay, so let's have a demo on these all the operators and filters that we discussed. So I will pass mic to my friend, and he will show you that how we can use these filters and operators into the web template. So over to you, Venkata.
Yeah, thanks, Mahender, for your wonderful explanation about the liquid templates. So I'll share my screen and okay,
Okay, we cannot see yet.
yeah. So hope you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see it now. Yes.
Mm, one, let me share my screen again.
Okay. It's visible yet.
How about now? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
we can see it. Yes.
Now you can see the my Power Pages, right?
It's Maker Studio. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So what I will do, right? First, I will go with the last session. There was an issue where I could not show the page that has been done, right? So I will start from there. Hi everyone, I am Venkat. Welcome to this demo of the Power Pages. So we'll start with the Power Pages related one, how we have created an web the page along with the web template and all. So first is this one. So once you click on this one, just we can give it two ways of it. Start from the blank and give that page name, and I am going to add it for the main navigation. Now just I have clicked on this one. So now a page has been created. So now what I'm going to keep it here is I'm going to keep and text here. And it's a demo page. After that, just I will add one section. This is spacer. Okay. Now just I will sync this one. Okay. Now if we preview this page, you see it. A page is being created. If you observe in the navigation, I have this demo page. So just I'm going to home. I am clicking on this demo page. You should see this one. This is how without writing any particular code you can create any page, and then you can do it. So I can give any particular styles as well for this one, for my demo page. Just I will be saving this one. Yeah, let me save it. So every time you do these changes, just you have to click on this sync. It will take some few seconds to publish at the server. So now, okay, if you observe right, the theme has been changed for the my entire site. Okay, so this is how you can create any particular web page from the scratch without writing any particular code. Okay, now coming to in this particular demo page, right, what I am going to perform is uh, yes, yeah, let us go with topic by topic here. Just allow me a minute. So right, so here what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the respective ones here. So in the same here at the demo page, what I'm going to do, right, I'm going to write um the respective conditions that has been just mentioned. So we'll start it from the string. So how we can do it? So the first one is just here. You can keep it like this one. So just observe it. So if I just what I did, just I kept it in the text box. Okay. So now I will just sync it. Right. So now if I observe and see it in my demo page, okay. So there was nothing happened. The reason is there was some issue that is present here. So what I am going to do here is here I can go to this edit code, like it will go and open in the notepad in the Visual Studio Code that is at the online. Okay, this is the demo page. Just give me one. Okay, and then here just I am going to uh, write strware. Just I am saving this one, and now I'll go to this design studio and I'll click on sync. Okay, just if you observe here in the demo page, hello world has been kept. Okay, so what is that we have kept it? I have assigned. Okay, let me zoom it for a bit. So what is that first one? Just this is how you can assign any particular variable. So just like how if the people who have the background of writing any C sharp code, just we will declare the variable and then assign the value, right? In the same way here for the liquid, these two this is how that you can assign it. So assign strvar is equal to that particular one. Okay, this is the assign part of it. To see that one, we need to include these left uh, flower braces and also the right braces in between. We have to keep this respective variable. So this is how you can simply create one particular. Okay, this is how you can declare a any variable, and you can uh, print that particular variable. Okay, you can ask me a question. Okay, Venkat, I wanted to see just now Now how the things, so what I'm going to do, just I have assigned this variable with some integer. I'll try to see if this value is going to be um, print or not. I will see this one. Yes. So if you observe, just 1 2 3 has been printed now. So as a part of this one, like the same way for the boolean, we can go for it here. See, two ways of doing it. Just directly you can go it here and do it. But as we have this Visual Studio code that is present, just I am going to use like this. So I am assigning as x. So this is nothing but the boolean. I will try to print this particular x value. So now I will see it here. Click on sync. Okay, still the sync has not been, no, it has not been synced properly. The configurations. Okay, okay. I'll say that overwriting. It has saved my file. Okay. If you observe here, you'll see this value as true. This is how you can easily verify or any variable that is assigned as an boolean type. Okay. Now let us see about the next one is the array of it. So for an array, okay, just I'll skip like this particular array. You can perform like this. Let us go like this one. Okay, next let us go with the if condition of it. So so here what is that has been present is if the page title contains the customer, then the page is for the customer. Otherwise you will not get anything, just you will get this particular if only. So just let me keep that one save, and then we'll click on sync. Okay, now let us click on Control F5. You see this? It just has printed the if, because my page title is nothing, it does not have the customer. Now let us what we do, right? I will try to change this to demo page and see it. Demo. I say this for, I'll say like this. Now I'll go back to the Design Studio and click on sync. Okay. So if you observe, if the page title is not if the title contains the demo, then what I'm going to do here, the page is for the demo page is this is going to get printed. So if I click on this one, if you observe, right, I have not refreshed any page. You just see this if only. If I just now click on Control F5, then you see, yes, if the page is for a demo page. This is how you can easily use this particular if condition part of it. Now, now let us see this unless part of it, how you can perform this unless part of it. Okay, so what is that thing that you have to do? Keep in here like this. Just I'm going to use unless page dot title double equal to empty. Then I'm going to use this h1 tag, and then just I'm going to print page dot title, and then I have to use again close this and unless. So let me verify this one. Yeah, let me go back to the design studio again, and I click on sync. Okay, so what is that we have written? Unless the page title is empty, so then just type them. So my page title is not an empty. Okay, that's where, what is this one, until this is not empty, then we are going to type this one. As my page title is not empty, then that's where this h1 page dot title has been printed on it. Okay, now as we are seeing these the conditional operators, we can also see something like the switch part of it, because switch is the mostly used construct, right, in the conditional operators. So let me use like this, assign fruit is equal to apple. So again, I'll take this as a case fruit, and then write when apple. Okay, so if you observe, right, I have assigned one variable that is fruit. If that particular value is apple, then I am writing the case. If the case is fruit, then apple, then this is an apple will get printed. So let us see how it is going to get printed. Okay, so just I have forgot to write another one, that is okay. Click on this one. I click on sync. Yeah. If you observe this switch, this is an apple. It is has been came. So let us try by I have changed that variable, and I have changed the font of that one as well, the construct as well. So just if you observe, this is an orange. So like that, you can use this one the conditional operators like if, unless, and switch like that. Now let us see about the objects, where I'm going to see about the page related one. Okay. So for a quicker way, what I'm going to do is, okay, okay. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on page dot title as an escape, and last modified is page dot modified on. So page is nothing but it is an one object. Okay. So by default it has few of the properties that can be extracted. So if I click on this page dot title, then we get all these respective properties. Let us see how it is going to work on. You observe with before change we have the switch and this is an orange. So after the change, just look at this one. Okay. So this is an page object, and what is the page title is a demo page, and last modified on, just I have not done any kind of modification, right? That's why you don't see this one. Okay. Let us what we can do it, right? So okay, now after this particular one, we are going to use the user. So there are few things that you need to know about this one. So just I will write this particular code here. Okay. So we have couple of users that are present. One is actually, in fact, in Power Pages we have three types of users. We call it as authenticated users, anonymous users, um, and also administrator users. Okay. So first is any person who has logged in, right? They called as an anonymous as a logged in authenticated users. The people who logs in without any login, they call it as an the anonymous users. So first you see it, right? I'll get sign out. Okay, this we call it, and see if you observe user, hello anonymous user. Okay, now I will sign in. If I get sign in, right, just I'll use the sign in with an external account. If you observe, hello Subbarao.policity. So generally the use case is whenever any person logs in, right, the basic wish that will be uh, the basic wish of any user, right, he will be very much happy to see his name saying that, okay, hello Subbarao Police City, welcome to this particular page, like that. So like that, you can simply write achieve this functionality without writing any number of codes of line, just by using this particular user object. So now, okay, now let us see about the date filters that are present. So just go about here, saved, sync. Okay, so just if you observe here, so today's date is this one, and this is the, so two ways of getting it. There are, these are the different ways that you can get the respective details: 118 to 2025, Jan 17 2025, and another format of this particular date and time of it. So if you observe, this is the first one, this is the second way of getting it, and this is the third way. So I have used the date add days. That's why if you observe, I got this one. Okay, let me save this. Keep it h1. They'll use it h2. Take it h3. Okay, so now I'll just sync on this, click on sync. Just if you observe, right, so this is the first one, and this is the second one, and this is the third one. Okay, so like this you can easily get to know about. Okay, and you can apply any string filters like this. So just let us use these particular filters. So file name append.js, you will get the file name.js, and mixed case text through the down case. If you use, then you will get this as a mixed case text in the down one. So let's go to here, click on sync. So if you observe, right, filter append does not have a default value for string and no value as some parent. So if you observe, this first one has some issue. Okay, that's why it does not have. The intention of showing this one is to show how if there are any syntactical errors or during the runtime, you will get this one. Error filter append does not have a default value for string, and no value was supplied. Okay, and mixed case text, if you observe, I have changed this one. Okay, so how you can do it is to rectify this one. So here, keep it here. I'll click on sync. Let us see if the error goes off. string. See, the filter append does not have a default value, and no thing was been supplied. Okay. Okay. Now let us see these two. See it here. Okay. So this is how you can perform these filters on the append part of this one, and these array filters and all. We can see it once we get to the respective um, entity views. When we get that one right, then we will be able to see that one. So the last part of this particular demo, we'll see the for loop of it. So for just going to here, going to here, assign fruits, then just I'm going to use the split. Again, just I'm going to, and then so just I'm clicking on sync. Okay. So if you observe here, so the fur has been applied, and if you observe all the variables that are present here, they have been shown as an unordered list with the bullet points that are present. So in this way, you can use the liquid language to specifically write any particular code. Basically, you can start with that. So with that, I stop sharing my screen. So yeah. So any other so Mahender, you wanted to add something?
I think that's what we wanted to cover the basic of the liquid template today. So we discussed about the operator, we discussed about the data type, we discussed about the filters. So we covered almost all the basic of the liquid. Now in the next session, we'll demonstrate and we will discuss how we can leverage the liquid template to use the database object. So we will be working with the dataverse and we'll show how we can use entity and render that list using those liquid objects. So yeah, I think uh, thank you very much for joining us today and stay tuned for the next episode. And you can watch all our earlier session in the YouTube on C Sharp Corner channel there, and just share it with your other friends and with the other community member. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks, everyone.